Hello everyone, Nugai here with the next episode of Dungeon Survival. Let's jump in and see where we've left because I've not done any grinding. I might have maybe emptied the inventory, but how do we look? We're okay, we've got a few legendaries there. How do we look with the mercenaries? Yeah, nothing interesting there. How about I show you what I do to get my fruits in order? Because although... Oh no, I shouldn't have done that. No, that's not how you do it. Right. There we go. When you use one of those what are those called? Statues? Yeah, when you use these statues, you use the first 10 food, regardless of what it is, and the paladin's healing ability can help you with being careful and getting rid of poison. Yeah, that was the word I was looking for. Getting rid of poison, but it doesn't really help with, you know, with bleeding. But it wasn't poison; it was bleeding. Paladin's healing skill removes bleeding, but does not remove poison. So, it's a little choppy for some reason. Oh yeah, it's probably because I was just trying to see a little bit of Night of the Full Moon, and for some reason my computer by itself uninstalled it, and now I'm downloading it on Steam, and that also means that it's taking a little bit of the bandwidth of my old computer. Can't say it's... Oh no, do I have cheese? I have cheese. Right. So cheese removes bleeding and fruits remove poison. Right, let's buff ourselves because this one's gonna be a little bit trickier than I would assume. Right, let's get rid of that guy. There we go. You're probably gonna die. This guy has basically the same skills as our actual assassin. So it's a little... Oh really? You heal her and you heal yourself a little bit. And why are you healing her? Stop it. Please stop. Get some help. I've got a frog. What kind of frog is it? Details. Frog. Interesting. It's an interesting frog. Decreases armor. I mean, rather useless compared to what we have in our current party, but a frog nonetheless. Right. Okay, so a poisoner now. It's getting a little trickier now. Why? What's with these guys? Careful now. Just rubbing the microphone wire. Well, not the wire, the headphone wire. Got a good old cabled headphones. Because you can't really rely on Bluetooth headphones. I mean, so here's the deal. Let me tell you about my pet peeve, if that's the appropriate word for it. I personally prefer phones with, and this is not necessarily about a phone, because I was initially referring to my headset that I have on my computer. But I'm still gonna focus on the Bluetooth headphones idea. Now, I tried, so I've noticed that, every manufacturer and their dogs uh, just go for no headphone ports, a dedicated headphone ports. And the messed up problem with that is they're not even, trying a proprietary. Which door did we come through? A proprietary port. So if they were to say, all right, we've found a better way to, have headphone connection on the phone, and my microphone cable just dropped. Apologies from now. If there was a noise, I'll try to edit that during the edit session, because I do edit my my videos, the audio part of it. The gameplay usually stays the same. I want to keep it as pure as possible. There's a lot of people who, caught like 90% of the gameplay just to go to highlights. Mine's gonna be from the start till the end, with exceptions where I pause the game for, like, what I usually do on this game, because this one has a part where I have to manage the inventory. But yeah, so going back to Bluetooth headphones, I bought myself a Marshall, what was it? A pair of Marshall headphones. It was a revision 2 of something. I've got the brown leathery one. What was it called though? One sec. I'll. You know what? Heck it. It was a Marshall, a pretty common, decent set of headphones, and they were Bluetooth. And, sound quality wise, no problem. I got used to it. It's pretty okay. But in less than a year, it broke. And it didn't break like, the electronics wouldn't work, or the cables, or it doesn't really have cables outside, but internal cables or anything. It just died. And I think it had something to do with the speaker itself, because the right speaker or the left one, I don't remember completely. One of the speakers just wouldn't play anything. It's just completely quiet, no sound whatsoever. And also, it didn't really have. Sorry for the. Move my mic just a little bit so that my voice doesn't puff on the mic. So even if I were to just what's it called, turn it on, the notification sound, like do 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 do, that wouldn't even be heard on that side. So you'd say, okay, why don't you take it to warranty? I bought, so, as a normal person who cares about the expense, they do. I bought it off the internet, and that meant there was this company that was in Europe, which shipped it quite close to where I live, the country I live in. But it wasn't in the same country. So when I ordered it, it came from Poland. So basically, I had to send it to Poland. And honestly, indeed, the money that I've spent wasn't too much that, I mean, it wasn't dirt cheap. Don't get me wrong. It was reasonable price, doesn't mean dirt cheap. But it was enough that it wasn't little money. However, the money I had to spend to ship it back to Poland would mean, you know, I'd have to pay extra money on something that I've already paid for. So that's the part that I didn't think too much, and it came to bite me in the back later down the line. So it's okay. Yeah, I get it. You know, it's not a Bluetooth specific problem. It's not like, oh, because it was Bluetooth, it broke. Any headphone could break in that way. However, it was the only Bluetooth headphones I had, and had I not purchased an actual had I actually purchased a phone with no Bluetooth, no 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. Apologies, by the way. Mine's a little bit haphazard, or I don't know what would be the appropriate word. My mind's a little bit fuzzy today. Don't know why. Not drugs. I mean, the only thing that's close to the drugs is close to be considered drugs is eardrops. So it's, I don't know if drug would be the appropriate word for it. Oh, you've got poison. You need to have some apple. Right. So basically, I would have been stranded if I had a phone with no 3.5 millimeter headphone jack port. I'm gonna cough. Apologies. Sorry about that. Don't know what happened, but I promise it's not the Rona. I've been pretty home staying during this period. Indeed, I'm going down to buy bread. Because unlike some other countries, people here actually eat bread and they enjoy it, and it's an integral part of their daily meals. Now, going back to, oh no, I just wanted to click the trap. I didn't even see what happened. Whatever was that? Okay, so I hate when that happens. So now my phone plan's approaching expiry, and oh no, I'm gonna be moved. And I would want a new phone, but honestly, I'm not happy with any of the models that my service provider has, and I don't want to pay, you know, a large amount of money to buy a new phone. And a lot of the new phones that are on the market are just honestly not my taste. I don't want, so there are very few phones that have a what's it called? I hate when this happens. I genuinely need to get a Lancer very soon. Right, let's get out of here. Upgrade, that's cool. Fire is good. Right, back. Okay, George wants to go see the world. Okay, good for you, George. Right. Let's sort and let's put the books in the bank and keys as well. Right. Now let's see if we're lucky to find a legendary Lancer. We don't have a lot of money, so I don't want to waste. Although yeah, that's right. She's a little bit cheaper. Let's focus on level 7s because I don't want just a single 1000 XP book. Okay. Right, I'm gonna, like I said earlier, I'm gonna quickly pause the video, do the inventory really quick, and do a second run without George. Hopefully we'll have a nice run this time around. Alright, I'm back, and I've sold a bunch of, well, I've sold the inventory, and since we have, alright, actually, let me check if we have anyone with a negative trait. George's on a... No, don't sell George. What are you, crazy? Right. Since George is on a vacation for how many days? George, how many days? 7 days. Alright, what takes 7 days? This takes 5 days. Alright. Let's try to play a little bit with our Lance Guard. So, no, go back to Embark. Our Lance Guard is level 4, so we might be able to do some level 5 stuff. That's level 4. But that's actually level 5, right? So we've got Rayleigh, Paladin, Hunts, and who else can we put? Fyra is level 8, so that's gonna hamper our experience. Yeah, let's put Johnny the Wolf or Shiver Poison Gems. Alright, let's save this as team. Heck. Alright, let's check real quick. Rayleigh, have you got your skills? This one has to go up. And it really doesn't help that I don't have a good Lance Guard, because I don't want to waste the books for this guy. Johnny, you've got what you need, right? Oh no, I'm actually saving that for Kingslayer, don't I? Yeah. Alright, well, let's do it however we can. Let's just put Rayleigh, Paladin, Johnny the Wolf, and Hunts. Right, let's go. It's what it is. It's gonna be a tough one, but the format of the squad is... Oh no! Right, well, we are gonna be moved around a little bit, unfortunately. But the format of the squad is... right? Okay, right, let's get you there. Let's attack this. Let's heal ourselves and just go on like that. I don't want to waste the... what's it called? Attack me skill of the Lance Guard, because this guy's gonna die pretty soon. Although he did hit our Hunts. Let's give him an apple. And also George, you're healing yourself, don't worry. Right, 30% hit points. Right, let's do that. Let's rob that and heal ourselves. Okay, right. You're done for. You're good. Oh, that's pretty good. Focus on yourself and put the guard up. Right. That's actually pretty good. So another thing about I'm still yapping about the headphone. So normally, price-wise, proper headphones are way much cheaper than Bluetooth headphones. You could say, yeah, there are cheap Bluetooth headphones out there. Yes, there are. I know. But have you listened to the way they sound? I mean, listening through a plastic cup connected with wires sounds better than the ones that are at the same price range. Why did this guy move? What was I saying? Yeah. So compared to the price of Bluetooth headphones that are like at the budget range, I just couldn't remember the word budget. These are basically horrible, and like you just don't want to put them anywhere near your ears. While compare that to like some decent quality headphones, and really it's much easier to get a quite okay quality headphones with cables, because you don't need any complex electronics for that. You just, need some cables and a pair of cables, a pair of speakers, the miniature speakers, and put them in a plastic case, and you're done. While with the Bluetooth headphones, you need to, you need battery management, you need, what's it called? Circuitry, connection circuitry, interface, like, the buttons and whatnot. So it really is much more complex and thus significantly more expensive. Therefore, finding a budget one compared to the price you pay for a budget Bluetooth headphones, you might actually get a proper pair of headphones. Apologies for the dogs barking in the background. There are dogs in where I live, and dogs tend to bark. And the more you learn with Nugai. So, Jesus, hold on a sec. I'll be right back. I'm not even gonna pause the video. I'm just gonna be right back. I'm just gonna mute my mic. And I'm back. So, compared to Bluetooth headphones, or to normal headphones, Bluetooth headphones are significantly pricier if you take into consideration the sound quality. Now, okay, you might be like, okay, I'm not an audiophile. I'm not an audiophile myself. I can't say like I can hear the difference between a mastered music or one that was not mastered. However, the sound quality for these headphones that I'm talking about, the budget ones, are just unbearably bad. So I'm not exaggerating, unbearably bad. So you're making a compromise. So going back to the phones, I would need to make a compromise if I'm gonna buy a new phone, where I either have to buy a weaker phone which has a headphone jack, because they're much more rare. A phone with, I don't know, a weaker processor, because I've got an S9, a Galaxy S9, and before you call me a Samsung fanboy, I used to be on the HTC ship back when HTC and Samsung were fighting for the best Android phone mark. Had an HTC One Mate, favorite phone of the Australians. I am gonna make that joke. This Aussie guy goes to his friend, while talking to his friend, is telling about his new phone. He's quite happy, so he's, "Hi mate, I've got a new phone." And the other Australian guy asks, "What is it, mate?" And the first guy responds, "It's an HTC mate. "Oh, I've got an HTC mate too." So, that's how. Stereotyping, yeah. I'm probably gonna get some downloads from a few Aussies, but I love them. They're a funny bunch. I've got a friend living there. Other than the spiders with a hit points bar, because that's what he said, there are spiders with. So in Australia, spiders have hit points bar, and like when you see one, you start hearing the boss music. But jokes aside, Aussies are cool. No worries about that. So yeah, before you call me an HTC fanboy, you could call me that, because I was on the HTC side of the boat. I actually a Samsung fanboy. I was an HTC fanboy back when that was the case. You go back. The whole party is all scattered. But you go. No, you don't go front. You go front and. Oh no. Right. Okay, you go back. You go front. You attack. Alright. You attack that. I've got a Samsung Galaxy S9, and there are a few features that I genuinely don't want to lose. And I still have to, at the end of the day, will have to end up making a compromise, because there is no other phone out there that has everything this phone has. So a headphone jack is the first thing. I want a phone with a headphone jack. Not many options there. I really liked some of the newer, maybe Motorola phones, or some of the LG phones. There are some Xiaomi phones out there, but I'm not sure if I want to buy those. But not that they're bad, I don't know how I'm feeling about what's going on the easternmost side of the continent, excluding the small country that's famous for animes. I'm not trying to make propaganda or anything. That's what they do on that side of the pond. Well, that side of the land would be more appropriate things to say. But let's not go into that. I'm skeptical about buying a Xiaomi. But even then, the latest phone that I've seen that was pretty good. It doesn't have a headphone jack, and I don't want a phone without a headphone jack. I tried my luck with a set of Bluetooth headphones that were not no name. So we're talking about Marshall. They make professional equipment, and they're not no name brands or like Chinese brands or anything. That was a proof that if your primary headphones break, you'd need to have a secondary Bluetooth headphone to be able to continue listening to whatever you're listening, because that's what you do normally with a cabled headphone, with a standard headphone. Problem is they're more expensive, so you have to buy two good headphones. And I don't know about you, but if I'm gonna buy a pair of headphones, not enough gold. Oh no. If I'm gonna buy a pair of headphones, does this or does have luck? No. Let's get this sold. I'm not gonna spend a fortune to buy a second one. So it's a really bad thing. It pushes people to throw the first one, or maybe not throw the first one, but it really isn't convenient. I think that's the proper word for it. Now, that's one of the problems. The second problem is my S9 has an iris scanner, which is a good thing. Not all of the phones that are out there have that, so that's a bad thing. My S9 has a what's it called? A desktop mode, but it's called Dex, so that's why I called it a desktop mode. Not many other phones have it. Samsung has it, but we go to the next problem, the notch. Oh, how I hate that notch. I had the HTC One Mate, the One Mate M8, and the bottom bezel was massive because you had the speaker, the stereo speaker, and then you also had the HTC logo. So basically, massive chin. I didn't mind that. Absolutely not a single bit. So people were really focused. Oh, Samsung has a better camera, so I'm gonna buy a Samsung. Back then. But I had no problem with the massive chin that HTC had. But when it comes to a notch, I don't want a notch. It's stupid. And so people these days are complaining, oh, Apple haters are just hating it, but they know that in a few years or next year their manufacturers are going to do the same thing, That's the point. We hate it because due to Apple being a bad word company, but they're famous, other companies follow suit and it becomes the trend instead of being, you know, protested. People replicate that model and you end up with some stupid feature that no one needs. I have not a single problem with my S9's upper bezel. Absolutely none. No problem whatsoever. But yeah, next phone I'll get might probably have a bezel. And I'm thinking I'm gonna disable the upper row of pixels. There's this option on a lot of phones, so I don't have to see that stupid notch. Moving on, memory. A lot of phones no longer want to accept SD cards. Not a problem. It is a problem, however, if you have 32 gigabytes of internal storage. That's a no-no. If I was okay with 32 gigabytes, I wouldn't have bought a 64 gigabyte phone and also use a 128 gigabytes of memory, the SD card. So that's a no-no for me. I don't want anything to do with such a small space. And moving files is going to be a nightmare. But that's like I could make a compromise if the phone had 128 gigabytes of internal storage. I'd make that compromise. Okay, I'll accept it, but not with lower than that. So that's I could mention a few more, but we are at a 37-minute marker of me rambling about Bluetooth headphones and headphone jack. But that's gonna be it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the like button. Let me know in the comment section below if you are a Bluetooth or a 3.5mm jack person, because that's most of this video. Hit the bell icon, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you around. Cheers.